Hi guys, here we are going to learn the difference between formula and functions. In Excel it is very important to know how to calculate the values. So we have two tools. We can calculate via formula or we can calculate via functions. So let's see what is the difference between these two. Basically, formula is an expression that operates on values in a range of cell or cells. For example, if I have 1, 2 and 3, I'm typing three values in three cells and I want to add these values with each other. So I'll put equal sign to write down the formula. I can write down the formula over here or in this formula bar. So I'll select this cell, I'll put a sign, this cell, then I'll put a sign. I can put plus, minus, multiplication, division, whatever I want. I'm just using plus to give you a clear picture. And this, and then pressing enter. If you can see, every cell has a different color code in the formula, so you can easily understand E9 is this, F9 is this, and G9 is this. And you know what is E9, F9? Basically E is the column and 9th is the row. So when you press enter, this will calculate these three values and give you sum. So if I want to do this by the function, then I have to do something else. Let me tell you what is function basically. Function is basically predefined formula in Excel. They eliminate laborious manual entry of formulas while giving them human-friendly names. Likewise, you can see if I show you the functions, you can go into the functions by this by pressing fx, or you can find the functions by ALT M. This will give you access of formula bars, and then F. So this will give you a window with the functions. There are many functions already defined by Microsoft Office. If I click on all, you can see how many functions we have. These are user-friendly names. With the description, it is given which function can do what and which kind of values this function want to calculate. For example, if I find a simple function, likewise we are going to discuss count A today. Likewise, this counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. So today we are going to discuss this one also. So count is counting the values. So what kind of functions body is this? And this is the count. You can human friendly name. Basically it has a code behind it, so with the code it can calculate the things. So let's use the sum function to calculate the same which we have done through formula. So I'm just copying these values in the next cell. I'll select the values, then I'll press alt plus equal, alt equal, and this will insert sum function for me. You can see sum, and I told you that E10 till G10. So yeah, why we have column between E10 and G10? This is showing the range from E10 till G10. This column from this column E10 till G10, we ask the computer to get a sum of it. We can even skip some values. For example, if I have a value, I can give more than one ranges. For example, I have some values over here. Let me type the values for you. I have certain values over here, and again by selecting these values, if I press alt equal, it will give me sum over here. But I want to change a function in a way that it should calculate first 4 values and then last 4 values. So how can I change this function into it? So I will select the range over here sum, and I'll drag this range to back to four values, first four values. Okay, then over here I will put a comma, and then I'll select a cell, and then I can select this is, so I can give selective values to sum to calculate the result for me. So I left the value in C10 and 11. So this is a variation in some formula. If I press enter, you can see it calculates 55 for me, and it left two values over here, C10 and 11, 6 and 7. So if you calculate 6 and 7 is not in there, well, let me show you. So let me show you the grand total. Alt equal 66. So over here I gave these values. So it's calculate 1 2 3 4, and then it left 5 and 6, and then it's added 7. So 11 is less, so you can see this is 55, this is 66. So we can have variations in some formula. Again, some formula can give us average. For example, we can use additional mathematical operators with it. For example, I want to divide the whole value with 11. So you can see over here I have 5. So 55 divided by 11 is 5. So I can use any operator over here, any mathematical operator. For example, I'm multiplying it by 11. You can see the value is changing. I can subtract it from 11. So you can 55 subtracted by 11 is 44. So that means in a function you can use a part of a formula with it also. So there is another for example, if I press plus and add this value with this, so you can see a different result over here. So here I use a part of a function formula and a part of formula, so you can use both in conjunction for your results, and you can simply use some formula, you can use simply simple formula. Here we have many functions given over. These are the common ones: sum, average, count numbers, max, min. So you can, how you can use these functions. For example, if I want to get a maximum value of it, I'll just select this, I'll go to Alt M, okay, then U. You can see the menu, auto sum menu is open. So I want maximum, so then I press M. So maximum function has been inserted automatically by MS Excel. That means Alt M will give you access on the ribbon. So which functions you want to do, you can select. Likewise, recently used functions, financial functions, logical functions, text functions, date and time functions. There are many functions, and inshallah by the time we'll learn these functions one by one. For example, if you want, so Alt MF will give you insert function option. Let me show you Alt MF. So it is give you the window. We learn Alt MF will give you the window, I told you early. So this is basically function. So let's see some variations of count function, and let's discuss the count function, how the count function will work. I want to count these values. Okay, there are two ways. I'll write equal, I'll write count, and you will find a tooltip with the function name. I'll double click it. Now you can see the count, the name of the function, and the values which you need to count. We can put values one by one separated by a comma, and we can even give the range or the ranges. So let me select the range, then I'll close the bracket and press enter. It's counting the values for me. 10. This count function can only calculate values from D6 till D15, from here to here, D6 till D14. If I write some value over here, for example 12, it will not affect the function. But if I chose count AA, that will calculate every value in the whole column A or D, whatever the column I'm using. I'm using column D over here. So let me show you D column D, closing the brackets. So it's selecting the whole column in the sheet. So it's calculating differently. It's calculating another value over here. Let's see. If I write 15, this value changes into 12. So there are 12 values in this column. So it's calculating the values from whole column. If I want to know how many values are there in one row, so I will use this function. Likewise, I'll use count, then I'll select a row, okay, and then I close. So it's counting the values from here. Another thing is this count function basically can only count numbers. If I delete this, what happened? Look, the result doesn't change. It is 9. Though these values are these values are 9 if I using count, and if I using count AA, these values should be 10. So I have deleted one value, but nothing happened. So I have to use function count A, that's called count A. So count A or count A function will calculate everything whatever given in the range. Rather it's or a symbol. For example, I'm deleting this value and putting some symbol in it. Just a minute, I have to put cursor in there. Okay, and I'm putting another symbol steric over here. So I have one space, two symbols. So I'm going to use count A function. So I will use count A, and I'll select the range over here, and then I close and press enter. You can see it's counting values for me: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 10 9. So it's not counting the space, but it's counting the symbols. So count A function basically can count other characters also, but leaving spaces for you. So it cannot count the space, it only can count the numbers, characters or symbols. Okay, did you see the count A function is counting symbols, numbers, even the character. If I wrote A over here, it will calculate. You see, it can calculate, but it cannot calculate space. It cannot count space. Sorry, if I give a blank cell, so it cannot calculate blank cell. So there is another formula. So it will calculate basically only the blank cell. For example, I want to see how many blank cells are there in my data. So I'll use count blank. You can see this over here, count blank, and I'll select the range and I'll close it and press enter. Here it's telling me there is one blank space in my data. So today we learned the difference between function and formula, and we learned how we can access this formula bar by pressing Alt M, and then you will find many functions over here. So you can select any function, and how there are the ways to write down the function or formula. You can double click over here, press equal and start your function or formula, or you can go to FX and find this window to you can type the function over here and it will find a function for you. For example, I want trim function, so I'll press go and it will find a trim function for me. Or you can go there and select a category and find the function by yourself by dragging down or scrolling down and finding the function for you. Description is also given, and you can click on this to get the online help if you want some more description about the function. For example, if I click on it, so it will open this MS Office support for this function. So there is a description, syntax, and there are some examples also given how function is working and how you can use this function. So there is a help given for each and every function. So this is called formula bar. You can expand it or contract it, or for today I think this is enough. So to inshallah by next class we'll start focusing on different functions one by one, and we'll start learning the functions, start learning uh, excel easy functions to complex functions. Even we'll discuss the ranges, we'll discuss how to check the formulas and functions inshallah. But in the next video I'll tell you how you can check your formula or function, how you can remove the errors from your function, how you can understand what kind of error is becoming, what kind of error is basically popping by the by excel, and how you can solve your problems. So by till now this is enough. Please be with me and learn with me. Subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.